turning from the West Coast and the heat to packing heat on the East Coast. New York Governor Kathy Hochul has implemented new concealed carry laws in response to the Supreme Court's historic decision, which overturned New York's 100-year-old law limiting the availability of concealed carry permits in the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin ruling. Now, New York's gun-free zones include just about everywhere in the city: public transportation, Times Square, restaurants that serve alcohol, parks, and many, many more. Joining us now is former New York City Commissioner in the Giuliani and Bloomberg administrations, Brian Andersson. Brian, welcome back to National Report. So let's just say, I don't, but let's just say I had a concealed carry permit, which I do, but my gun, and I come from Westchester County into New York, and all of a sudden I've got to weave in and out of places that I have no idea are gun-free zones. And what happens if I get pulled over or stopped?
Precisely. I mean, I think if you're questioned, you should say it's none of your business. You know, it's just like a driver's license. I have a license if I have a gun. It's just interesting that we're going to have all signs now around Times Square. Why weren't these signs there for the last 10 years when there's been multiple shootings in Times Square? It's very curious, isn't it? So now when you have to take courses and interviews and social media accounts, you're still not allowed within certain areas of the city. I live in the city. Does that mean I'm allowed to have it in my backyard? But if I go into this paved sidewalk, I can't have it? They need to make up their minds. But at the same time, I think this is going to be challenged and ruled, unconstitutional.
State or federal courts?
Both. Both. Take it, again, it seems like illegal guns are still okay. We see the news every day with teenagers shooting each other. But nothing's been done about that. But you and I, to have a gun?
Well, somebody was shot last night near NYU.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a gun-free zone.
I'm sure it is, right near a school. Yeah.
So in practical terms, the concealed carry permit that people would have after this decision is basically rendered useless.
Precisely.
So the Supreme Court makes a ruling. Local officials could say, we're going to do what we want to do. Then what?
Well, they can try until, again, they're challenged. Because, again, that's what brought the Supreme Court case, is they were challenged on these ridiculous rules.
Right. You know, more ridiculousness, the first busload of illegal migrants has arrived in Chicago from Texas. Of course, we're getting them here in New York. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot's spokesperson had this to say about Governor Abbott's tactics, quote, "Unfortunately, Texas Governor Greg Abbott is without any shame or humanity. But ever since he put these racist practices of expulsion in place, we have been working with our community partners to ready the city to receive these individuals." All right. These buses of migrants have been, of course, sent to New York City and D.C. as well. I myself made some national news and captured these videos of migrants flying into Westchester County Airport. That was last August, so this is now going on about 13 months. Of course, there was no cry of foul other than from me and others, but the mayor of New York, who were receiving these migrants, had nothing to say. So what is the big difference between somebody being bused versus flown?
Well, precisely, and thanks to you, Rob. I mean, I remember that very well. Interesting that they were arriving under the cover of night.
Yep.
Right? And sent here not by a governor, but by the United States government.
Correct.
All right, so now they're coming in broad daylight, a couple of hundred a day on buses. But is it okay you're a sanctuary city. What part of that don't you understand when you said it? And Texas is sitting there with thousands coming across the border on a daily basis. Thousands. Is that Texas to absorb, or maybe the sanctuary city should do their job? Again, it's not the Texas border. It's the United States border. These immigrants don't care. These migrants don't care what border it is. They're coming into the United States of America. And I just feel that the mayor and the governor just seem that they're okay with that as long as they all stay in Texas.
Well, Brian Andersson, thank you again for coming here on Newsmax. I appreciate it very much.